Good morning. Welcome to Sunset United. My name is Susan Black. I am not Jim. You can tell I'm not as skinny, not as tall, and probably not as wise, but I do come with banana splits at the end of the service, so if you can make it through, we will celebrate after. This is Camp Sunday, where we are going to celebrate Lumsden Beach Camp, and I have brought a crew from the camp. I woke them up early. Hopefully they're polite. But we are going to have a whole service about Lumsden Beach and kind of walk through a day in the life of Lumsden Beach with you all this morning. Before we get started, are there any announcements? Okay.
Gosh, thank you. Cara Gay Driscoll from the Community Service Committee. This year, our special appeal will be directed to three important causes: Lumsden Beach Camp, Regina Anti-Poverty Ministry, and Carmichael Outreach. Please make your donations payable to the recipient of your choice and return it with the appeal form, which is at the back of the church on both of the tables. Thank you.
Good morning to all of you here and all of you watching on the screens. My name is Marion Tudor, and I have two announcements to make. I'm wearing my camp hat right now. Can you see it? For the last several summers, I've been able to, except for the COVID ones, of course, I've been out to camp as kitchen help. And I want to tell you a little bit about that experience for me. And I won't go into detail. I'm happy to talk to you afterwards. But if there's a chance that you might like to do this, I want you to know you don't have to cook. You don't have to make decisions, you just have to do as you're told, which involves lots of chopping and lots of serving to the kids at the campers, which is lots of fun, and cleaning up afterwards, of course. And it is hard work, but it's not brain work, really. So when I got back last time, well, actually when I was at camp last summer, there were some videos being made about the Feeding Friendship campaign to raise money for the new dining hall out at camp. And the theme seemed to be fun and friendship. And that's absolutely right. There's loads of fun and friendship out there. But I want to read you something that I wrote when I got back. I spent the past week at Lumsden Beach Camp helping in the kitchen. It's hard work, but it's also a privilege to be out there as part of the whole camp experience. Apart from the spectacular lakeside location, the camp offers a safe space for fun, friendships, and learning. This learning occurs at so many levels, and it's something that perhaps we forget about as we think about fun and friendships. I saw campers learning skills: how to scrape plates with a spatula prior to hand washing them, how to sweep the floor, spray the tables with bleach solution after meals, and those are just the dining room skills. I saw cabin leaders and leaders in training looking after their flock with care and kindness and boundless energy. I saw permanent staff managing the whole process with skill and the appropriate amount of authority, in my opinion, and more boundless energy. I'm proud to be a small, occasional cog in the wheel that is LBC. You rock. Okay, camp hat off, rummage sale hat on. We're having a rummage sale here on May the 26th and 27th, but this is actually a week-long project. We're going to set up the tables after the service on Sunday, which is the Sunday of the long weekend, May the 21st. On Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we'll be receiving donations and pricing them and setting them out ready for the sale. Friday will be the final setup in the afternoon and the sale in the evening. Saturday, more sale and cleanup. Sunday, we rest. So next week will be the first opportunity to sign up for volunteer shifts. I was going to tell you that the sign-up sheet would be on that corkboard, but that corkboard's gone. The sign-up sheet will be at the back somewhere. I'm not going to go into details about volunteer shifts and things like that right now, but just know that it would be really helpful if you could sign up sooner rather than later, because if we find that we don't have enough volunteers, we may have to call the whole thing off. So once you see the shifts, please think about what you can do and sign up. I know we're all 4 years older than when we did this last time, but you've got 5 weeks to muscle up. So the sign-up sheets will be on the bulletin boards next week, and there will be an online sign-up for those of you who prefer to be at home with your calendar or that you're not able to get here. And the link will be in the weekly update. Thanks.
Good morning. My name is Dave Towers. I sit on the joint committee with Wesley Sunset Planning. So I have an update for you. Our Wesley Sunset Joint Planning Committee met on April 12th for the first time. Here are some of the key facts about our work. Who are we? Our chair, until her role ends in July, is Reverend Carolyn Woodall, intentional interim minister at Wesley United Church. She also serves from the perspective of Living Skies Regional Council. Our Wesley representatives are Carol Chernyshenko, Sintra Kanhai, Lenore Busick, Linda Gunningham, Pam Thomas, Sheila Roski. Sunset representatives are Marina Jeffrey, Nancy McBean, Brian Tudor, and myself. So what is our purpose? It's to create a framework, a memorandum of understanding, and a partnership plan for amalgamation decisions as they evolve. And 2, to work out how we will begin to worship as one faith community this coming September. How will we make decisions? We've chosen to work by consensus most often, also using motions and voting as required. For equitable representation, each time we vote, we will have a maximum of 4 votes from Wesley reps and 4 votes from Sunset reps. As the planning framework takes shape, we'll invite others from our congregation to participate in various tasks and decision-making and host congregational meetings and votes as required. So what is in the scope of our community's work? We'll work on addressing these big buckets of tasks with our 2 current church councils and boards, existing and new committees as needed. 1 would be council structure and restructuring, 2, finances, 3, building decisions, 4, building content decisions, for example, kitchens, libraries, worship furnishings, supplies, and banners, 5, staffing decisions, and clarifications as required. Other needs we may not have identified yet. So what can you expect from our committee? You can expect regular updates on our progress, such as this newsletter's highlights, invitations to others to participate in readiness activities before this coming September. You can expect reminders of what we know, i.e. the above fact, and that we're working towards making our initial long-term commitment more comfortable and familiar for both communities of faith. And what we don't know yet, i.e. the outcomes of future decisions or details of how amalgamation may take shape in the future. There will be regular question and answer opportunities. Please send your questions to your church office to forward to our committee. For example, why is Wesley's minister, Reverend Carolyn Woodall, on this joint implementation committee for amalgamation? Well, the answer to that is the nature of intentional interim ministers is inherently to represent both regional council and the congregation they serve. In fact, this is the case for all ministers. The training for intentional interim ministers is specifically focused on facilitating change and transition and ways to both acknowledge and manage anxiety related to that change and transition in the church systems. Our joint planning team found our first meeting that we were united in our commitment to serve both Wesley and Sunset people in a way that honors both sorrow and optimism. We were also united in our hope that this opportunity will grow our community of faith. Please reach out to any of us to talk about preparing ourselves for this change, and we will provide individual contact info before our next update. Thank you for your attention.
You know it's a thriving church when announcements are taking up a quarter of the service. Just a couple more that I had. Registration for LBC is open and there's still space. There's overnight and day camps. So if you're interested, go to the LBC website. Camp Cleanup is May 13th. So if you're itching to get out there and see the space, come and meet us out there at 10 and have a hot dog roast for lunch. They're always looking for a hand. We're looking for a cook still for camp. So if you do love cooking and would like a summer job, they are looking for a cook. Wesley had asked that I announce that St. Andrew's College Lunch and Learn event at Wesley is on April 23rd at 12 following church. There'll be a presentation about the college as well as a light lunch. Barb, do you want to talk about Sarcan and then we'll get started?
Lumsden Beach Camp has an account with Sarcan, which means that you can go to Sarcan with your bottles and cans and wine bottles and that kind of thing and donate them to Lumsden Beach Camp. Bonnie, do you have another slide? There we go. Okay, so what you do is you go up to the keyboard thing, the computer, the screen, and you say, it says, do you have an account with us? You say yes. And then you enter your group, which is LBC. And then you type in the number of bags or boxes that you have. You can only take 15 as a maximum, okay? And then they spit out these labels, and then you put one label on either a box or a bag or something like that, and then you put them either on the conveyor belt or those rolly things. I don't know what they're called, that you put boxes. Yeah, okay. And then you are done. It is so easy. But you know what's even easier is that if you want to donate bottles and cans, you give me a call and I will come and pick them up. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, are you playing the centering piece? Yeah, no? We're just gonna go. Okay, we're going to jump into the call to worship. One of the things that's cool about LBC is that the counselors out there, after a week long of leadership and training, they end with getting a camp name. So today, Echo and Forte are going to do our call to worship.
So today for the call to worship, we're going to do it as we do something at camp called Spiritual Care Time. It happens every morning, and we gather together and create an altar to acknowledge what makes up LBC in the community. We usually do this outside, and we ask the focus be on nature around us, so bear with me and maybe picture a nice prairie if you feel like it. Take a deep breath. Feel the ground under your feet. Feel the air on your skin. Smell the air. Feel the spirit of community that is made new again each summer, each week, when we build community here at church and at camp. Today we gather in this place and build an altar to remember how this land is sacred and how we are all connected to this place and to each other. To build our altar, we first have water. Water is sacred to all people of all religions and as such ties us all together. Water reminds us of rebirths and always striving to be the best versions of ourselves so we can create thriving communities. Next, we have a rock. This reminds us of LBC and where we are, land carved by ancient glaciers, a valley of grasslands made fertile by the glacier's slow retreat across the land. Next, we have a Bible. This represents our connection to the United Church of Canada. Over 100 years ago, LBC was rooted in the United Church, and we remember that God comes in many forms and welcomes people from all backgrounds here. Next, we have our candle for reconciliation, an acknowledgement of those lands we gather on. Lumsden Beach Camp and Sunset are on Treaty 4 territory, the traditional territory of the Cree, Saulteaux, Lakota, Nakota, and Dakota nations, and the homeland of the Métis nations. This candle reminds us of the Indigenous stewards of the land we are on, and we call to mind the importance of caring for the land and for each other. We reflect on the impact of colonialism and commit ourselves to reconciliation and honoring treaty promises. Next, we have the rainbow candle. This reminds us of the promises we are making to build a welcoming community and is a symbol of LBC and Sunset's commitment to inclusivity. We welcome and celebrate all people, including our friends in the LGBTQ+ community. And finally, we have our Christ candle. The spirit of peace, faith, and life is found in many faith traditions and backgrounds, and this candle reminds us of that spiritual light. Be reminded that we are all at our best when we are open to listening and learning from many ways of being. So we're going to kick off this service a little bit camp style with a song. You've likely heard it before, either at other camp Sundays or just because it's sung all the time. There's a high part and there's a low part, so feel free to sing whichever you feel most comfortable in. It's called Fill Up My Cup. Are we going over how to do it? No? Great. Fill up my cup, let it overflow. Fill up my cup, let it overflow. Fill up my cup, let it overflow. Let it overflow with love. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Since we've been here 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun. With no mistakes to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Amen, amen. Amen, 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 amen. Amen, amen. Amen, amen, amen. Amen,
Okay, so if any kids want to come up onto the quilt, we've got already unrolled here. So if any kids want to come up and join me on the quilt, that'd be great. You don't have to, it's entirely up to you. So I have a few questions for you guys. Do you think you can help me out with some questions that I have? Yeah? Okay. Have you guys ever been to a summer camp? Yes. What did you guys do there? Someone want to tell me something they did at a camp that they went to? Yep. You played outside. That's lots of fun. That sounds like lots of fun. What else did you do?
We sing.
Sing songs. I think we all like to sing songs here. Yeah, that's lots of fun. Now, who has been to the Lumsden Beach Camp? Oh, we've got a few people who've been to Lumsden Beach Camp. That's great. So that's the camp that we are talking about today, right? And it's not that far away from Regina. Now, actually, I'm going to be truthful. I've only been there once. So if you guys have been there, you're going to have to help me out and tell me what goes on there. What's your favorite part about camp? It doesn't have to be Lumsden Beach Camp, but any camp. Does anyone else want to have a go? What's your favorite part about camp? Yeah? Singing songs. It's still pretty fun. Yeah? Yeah? Swimming's lots of fun too. What else?
Eating lunch.
Eating lunch. Oh, you know what? Food is pretty important. Yeah. Now, how do you feel when you're at camp? What does it make you feel? Yeah? Excited?
Joy.
Joyful? You can maybe feel a little bit scared if it's your first time staying away from your parents, right? Because if it's an overnight camp, you have to stay away all day and all night. I don't know. I'd be a little bit scared. But that's when you get to meet people, right? You get to meet new friends. So maybe you could be happy again with all the friends that you'll meet and get to learn about new things and learn about new people. And what other things? So someone already said they like to play outside. What's pretty cool about nature? What's really cool about being outside in nature? Yep.
Rolling down hills.
Rolling down hills, that's pretty fun. Yep. Yeah? You like doing that too? Yeah?
Sledding when it's winter.
Yes, and then sledding when it's winter, that's also really important too. So being outside in nature is pretty cool. And something that's really cool about being at camp is you're away from all of the things that go on in the city. You don't usually hear a lot of cars, planes going overhead. Sometimes there's a plane that goes overhead here right about this time, usually on the service, maybe a little bit early. But it's kind of cool because then you can just listen to all the different sounds and smell different smells and see different things, right? So if you guys look at the picture out there, you can see all out into the big open space because there's no buildings in the way to block it, right? So I think we are going to be singing a song, and the information I have is we're going to do it with actions and enthusiasm. So And that means everybody. And I think we're going to have to stand for this one. I think we need to stand for this one. And I think people know this one. Peace like a river.
Our scripture reading this morning is Psalm 104, 10 to 18. I want you to picture what I'm describing. We were going to act it out with the kids, but they've all gone back, so we'll just read it. He makes springs pour water into the ravines. It flows between the mountains. They give water to all the beasts of the field. The wild donkeys quench their thirst. The bird of the sky nests by the waters. They sing among the branches. He waters the mountains from his upper chambers. The land is satisfied by the fruit of his work. He makes grass grow for the cattle and plants for people to cultivate, bring forth food from the earth. Wine that gladdens human hearts, oil to make their faces shine, and bread that sustains their hearts. The trees of the Lord are well watered, the cedars of Lebanon that he planted. There the birds make their nests. The stork has its home in the junipers. The high mountains belong to the wild goats, and crags are a refuge for the haraks. We are now going to have the Sunset Kids Choir come up and grace us with a song.
So this is Sunset Kids Sing, and we're always looking for new singers. So if you know any singers that would like to join us, please let me know at the end of the service. So this morning, because it's Camp Sunday, we decided we should sing something spooky. So be prepared. This is a song written by Saskatoon composer Penny Roston. It's called The Snore Monster.
Something plays its round, we never like to say. It comes around the nighttime.
Thank you. I'm going to invite the kids actually to come back and sit on the quilt if you want, because we're going to have Rango and Finch come and deliver our reflection, and there's going to be some pictures of camp up on the screen while they're talking, and we're going to end the reflection with a bit of a campfire song, sing-song. So.
Hello, everybody. My name is Rango.
My name is Finch.
I started at LBC as a camper when I was only 6 years old, and I've been on staff for 3 years now. And it's probably the hardest job I've ever worked, but also the best. If you've ever heard a staff member talk about camp, you'll know it's a magical place. For some, it's just a couple weeks out of the year, but for most of us, we wait the rest of the year just waiting to get back. There's nothing like that first drive of the season through the valley. Camp continues to impact our youth and young adults in a way that I've never seen anywhere else.
So for those of you who may not have been to camp, thank you for coming and sitting through an entire Sunday service devoted to camp. Good on you, that's a good one. Secondly, let me tell you a little bit more about LBC. It's located on Last Mountain Lake, about 40 minutes northwest of Regina. The camp was originally founded in 1905 by Methodists, one part of the United Church founding folks. We are Western Canada's oldest summer camp. After several years of sustained growth, now camp welcomes about 500 children and youth out to the site for overnight and day camps during July and August. We also welcome school groups, Girl Guides, family reunions, and more to our site in June and September, if you're interested. Activities at camp include archery, canoeing, swimming, crafts, gaga ball, exploring our native prairie, some silly traditions like banana relay. It's really relay where the baton is a banana, and then someone gets to eat it at the end. It's really great. And then just like the United Church, LBC has focused our attention on justice issues, environmental stewardship, inclusivity, and diversity. We're also trying to do our part in reconciliation, having knowledge keepers and Indigenous artists out to our site, joining the Treaty Land Sharing Network for many to have more access to native land. Topics we hope our campers continue to feel passionately about after their week is done.
One of the most fun places at camp is the dining hall. This is where kids come together to sing grace, share a meal, and make friends. No meal is ever the same, and one of the highlights of LBC are our themed meals. Anything from lumberjack meals to dress your cabin leader. A child favorite is the utensil meal, where campers eat spaghetti with a giant whisk or something just as crazy. We are all looking forward to the new dining hall, where we continue on these traditions, but also be a space that will grow with us and sustain us for many decades.
For you all, coming to church each Sunday may be sacred. For many, like myself, spending a summer at camp is sacred. It's where we get to be outside all day, get dirty, sleep under the stars, somehow enjoy doing dishes, feel challenged to try things, and I'm sorry, I don't have my contacts in. I get to be included in the wacky community. I get to witness campers hit a bullseye for the first time in archery. They usually steal our desserts after they do that. Or see someone try canoeing after being terrified of it for over years. To see campers lifting each other up simply because they share one thing in common, that they love camp.
My wish for you all today is to take the spirit of camp with you. Find a sacred or treasured place where you can be yourself, be celebrated, and welcome others how they are. Get outside and appreciate what the natural world has to offer. Try something new, be a little goofy from time to time, sing at the top of your lungs, and maybe even do so at LBC. Everyone is welcome there.
Finch's old age is showing because today is her birthday. So I'm hoping we could maybe start the campfire song off with a quick round of happy birthday. Barb, is that okay? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Finch. you guys get to lead the campfire songs. Go for it.
Okay, so we're gonna sing a couple fun camp songs that we do at camp. This one's my favorite one to sing. It is a repeat after me song. So I will say a line, and you guys will repeat it back to me. Does that make sense? And this song has a little beat. So if I get everyone.
Barbara, I'm pretty sure Jim is never going to leave us alone again. Rod, you get to follow that up with the minute for mission.
This is a hard act for an old guy to follow, I'll tell you. When you see the enthusiasm from this group, wouldn't it be sad to see Lumsden Beach Camp not being able to go on for the lack of an adequate dining hall? I really hope that people are going to give generously to the fundraising for that new dining hall. The minute for mission this morning is none of us can go a single day without having an impact on someone's life. And we can't always predict how what we do to help change a life might wind up changing ours too. Take Bill Darnell. Bill's love affair with nature began at camp, but it didn't end there. Far from it. Bill's childhood experience of camp wound up inspiring one of the world's most influential environmental movements. Camping had such a big effect on me. I grew up in suburbia and didn't have much access to the natural world. Camping was an opportunity to go out and be in nature. It was amazing. Being at camp solidified my strong connection with the natural world, he says. Bill's early camp experience instilled such a love of nature that when he became an adult, he became an environmental activist. It proves that camping experiences in childhood can lead to a lifelong commitment to care for God's creation. My own experience with Lumsden Beach Camp, actually it started way back when I was about 16 at Beseda Campsite. Does anybody remember Beseda Campsite? The odd person, yeah, that's good. Unfortunately, it had to close, and the emphasis then became at Lumsden. And over the years, Lumsden has developed into a really vibrant community for children. One of the things that I appreciate with and think that it's part of the stewardship of the camp is the number of children who attend camp who have no church affiliation ever. And they come to camp, and that's the only experience they have with that kind of community. And so it's a major outreach to the life of those children and their families. I was out at Lumsden in 1966 and then again 1967 as a leader, and had great times with the kids out there. Things have changed a lot because at that time we had the old camp buildings down in the trees, and they've got new facilities for that. But the next round that I had with camp was when at Whitmore Church we developed a group from the men's club to go out every summer for camp cleanup. And that is something that's coming up on May 13th. And I would really recommend people going out. If you've never been to camp, we asked the kids if anybody had been to camp. How many here have been to Lumsden Beach Camp? Robert, I didn't see your hand go up. I took you out there 4 years ago. We went out for a camp cleanup, and one of the jobs that we had was cleaning all the fans in the cabins. Anyhow, that's been a lot of the fun that I've continued to have when I've been too old to go as a camper. I've been able to go out and try and help with things to make sure that the kids are going to have a place to go. So support the camp as best you can. We're raising funds for a new dining hall at Lumsden Beach Camp and have decided to start construction this fall. We will need north of $1 million for this project, and we have over half of that already raised. So please consider a generous donation to this much-needed project. And you can talk to Susan or Barbara about that today if you like. Thank you.
Thanks, Rod. Okay, let's take a moment to take a deep breath and pray. Holy Spirit, we gather this morning and give you thanks. We thank you for the sun and the stars, for the trees and the lakes. We thank you for the gift of imagination, which helps us picture this, not as church, but a cathedral of the great outdoors. We thank you for the gift of fun. To follow you is a joy, and the beauty you've built into creation must always be sought and treasured. Be with us as we laugh and pray, as we sing songs and share stories. Be with us as we offer all to you, who is our mother and our Father, who art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Our response hymn is This Little Light of Mine. Before we sing our closing hymn, which is a song that they sing every night at Lumsden Beach, Bind Us Together, I just wanted to say thank you to a few people. Barbara Flayton Orr, and Kylie Orr is the director of Lumsden Beach. She helped put together today's service for you, along with myself. And after the service, we have banana splits in honor of the banana split relay that happens out at LBC. Your banana has not been through a lake, in a canoe, or anywhere else. It will come to you much cleaner and intact than it would if you were out at LBC, but we ask that you, or invite you to join us afterwards. I want to thank the staff from LBC that came up, got up this morning early, and came and entertained us. We'll talk later about your song choices that changed since the list I had. No. And I want to thank Ken Fensom and Milky Way, who donated the ice cream for today's banana splits as well, and all of the toppings. So let's end together our time together with Bind Us Together. It's a song that they sing every night at camp. Kylie couldn't be here, the director, but she wanted me to make sure that I let everybody know that she wanted you to know how grateful she was for everyone. This last year, she's been able to see the reach that LBC has, how important it has been to so many. The support for this little camp has been incredibly heartwarming, and she can't thank you enough for everything you've done, whether it's volunteering, donating, sending campers, telling friends about it, listening to us talk about camp each year, and everything in between. So she says thank you. So as we go from this place today, I hope you take the enthusiasm of the youth, go out and enjoy the nature, and have a great day. We're going to end, instead of our regular amen, we're going to go back and sing the amen from Fill Up Your Cup.